This will have nothing to do with the coronavirus epidemic. This is about trying to understand history or even the present. I recently read Miles Davis's autobiography, Miles. In it, Davis celebrated when he was making great music with others, generous with his admiration of those musicians, Bird, Diz, Train, Mingus, Monk, and complaining when the music wasn't good or as good as it might have been, usually because of drugs or the pernicious interference of white people. Life for him was very much an up and down affair. The ups, a soaring high. The downs, a painful, degrading low. Most of what happened to him, for good or ill, he brought on himself. In one part, he was being interviewed by Alex Haley for publication in a magazine. Davis liked Haley well enough, but he wasn't all that pleased when the article came out. "I did not like that Alex dressed shit up," Davis said. "Alex is a good writer, but he's very dramatic." Davis makes many judgments in his book, and I thought he had a wonderful ear for it. Some people were really making music, others were making noise. Often, the critics praised the noise. Davis's comment about Alex Haley is especially interesting when you think about Haley as the author of Roots, a very famous book, and an even more celebrated television miniseries, a true event at the time of its airing. It purports to be a history, but we might keep in mind that Alex liked to dress shit up, and while he is a good writer, he can't resist the urge to be very dramatic. And why not? That makes for far more compelling, a better story. Davis objects because it's not true, strictly speaking. It's not true, and Davis, in his music and his pointed remarks, was always speaking strictly, adhering to the truth. I have devoted a couple of these pieces to the historical movies of Steven Spielberg, how he will create a scene led more by its impact than any sense of factual accuracy. As an entertainer, that's the way it should be, but I think he fudges it sometimes and acts as if he's presenting what he's presenting truly reflects the historical reality, or even improves upon it. And that bothers me. History in itself is an extremely touchy subject, a decidedly moving target. It seems to be a simple matter, but in the act, it is not. I'm currently reading a book written by an historian, and here's what he thinks. History writing, like contemporary journalism, is full of gossip, guesswork, mythology, lies, misunderstanding, and calumny. That's quite a stew. History, I think, is like quantum mechanics, a compilation of complicated observations and suppositions where the absolute distinction between particle and wave disappears, and it is not possible to say with certainty at any given point in time whether Schrodinger's cat is alive or dead. At some point, if pressed, history becomes nonsense. It is difficult to say what is happening even as it is happening, much less look into the past and try to glean the truth. Right now, we are enduring the pandemic of the coronavirus. And even though we are buried under mountains of information, it's also true that we don't really know what's happening. The fact that both of these things could be true, I find that to be fairly amazing and quite daunting, as well as thoroughly confusing. The health aspects, the medical details, they seem to be clear. The politicians, given the blessed opportunity to grandstand without appearing to do so, are acting on the advice of their experts in epidemiology. And while they are acting to save lives, to stop or slow the spread of contagion. To do this swiftly and effectively, they have also shut down the national economy. They say they will provide assistance in the form of several $1 trillion, and they call it a massive bipartisan emergency stimulus package, given directly to those who need it, thousands of dollars at a time. Everyone is on board with this. On TV, I saw a Federal Reserve man ask, "So what you are doing is you are printing money, right?" The picture on the screen showed that, sheets of money being printed. "That's right," he said, "we are printing more money." This from a nation already 20+ trillion in debt. Need money? Print it! The reaction to a financial crisis is to print more money. No one could devise a more perfect way to ruin a nation than to destroy its economy. No, it's even better than that. We will do this to ourselves, bipartisanly. How long before the virus kills us all? How long before we sink into an economic depression where all of our money is worthless and we can't print it fast enough? These are simple, direct questions, but I tell you, even as this is happening, I have no idea what the answers are. Never in my lifetime has the future been more uncertain. Every day is a step into darkness. Alex Haley could have had a field day with this.